and the ruling is ready. It was ready on that. So, yes. Samuel Dongo Njoroge, Joyce Jambi Mongai, and Wilson Mwangi Monywa, the accused persons, are charged with murder contrary to Section 203, as read with Section 204 of the Penal Code. They are jointly accused of the murder of Lucy Jambi Nyagiko, who is deceased, on the 24th of January 2018 at Kiambu Sub-County within Kiambu County. The prosecution called 38 witnesses to prove its case. The prosecution theory is that the first accused person, who was married to the deceased, a much younger woman, as a second wife, was offended when she chose to leave him and moved out of their home. The theory runs that the first accused person, obsessed with the deceased and afraid to lose her, suspected that she was having a relationship with another younger man. According to the prosecution, when the first accused person's efforts to win the deceased back failed, he decided to murder her because he would rather have her dead than allow her to, quote, sleep with uncircumcised men, end of quote. The theory is that the first accused person planned for the deceased murder with the help of the second and third accused persons and a fourth accomplice who was never apprehended. The prosecution claims that the first accused person lured the deceased into his car and then forcefully drove her to Sasini Coffee Estate, where one of the accomplices raped her before one of the accomplices doused her with sulfuric acid. The deceased died a day later from the burns caused by the acid. The prosecution relied on dying declaration evidence as well as circumstantial evidence, both of which it claims connect the accused persons to the murder. At this point in the trial, with the prosecution having closed its case, the court is required to determine if the prosecution has established a prima facie case sufficient to put the accused person on his defense. The test to be utilized is the famous one stated in Bat versus the Republic, whether, as a matter of law, without taking any conclusive view of the credibility and probative value of the evidence presented, the prosecution has adduced reasonable, sufficient evidence of the matter in respect of which it has the burden of proof. Reasonable, sufficient evidence is one which a reasonable tribunal could convict. Could being the operative word. At this point in the case, it will be improper to assess the strength or weakness of the prosecution evidence by taking a view of the witness reliability unless I conclude that the state of the evidence called by the prosecution, taken as a whole, is so woefully unsatisfactory, contradictory, or so transparently unreliable that no court, properly directing its mind, could properly convict on the evidence. In my view, this forbiddingly high threshold is not met here, since there is some evidence which, if accepted, and, I quote, taken at its highest, end of quote, would entitle the court to convict. At this point, the less I say, the better. Taking this test and standard into consideration, the prosecution has placed enough material to make this a fit case to require the accused person to respond to the evidence adduced. Consequently, the court finds that the accused person has a case to answer and puts them, the accused persons have a case to answer and puts them on their defense. The case shall be set down for defense hearing. Did you understand me? Yes. No, yeah, that's what I mean. The year is almost over. So, you have heard me, and now I want to formally to call witnesses in your defense. Okay? If you decide to call any witnesses, any help from the court to get those witnesses to court, otherwise, if you don't need that witness, help, you can simply call them to come and testify on your behalf. Okay? Is this clear? Do you understand your options on evidence? Very good. Now I am going to, you may
confirm we have consulted with all the accused parties, my lord, has reiterated to them.
Yes.
And they are aware of the options there.
Very good. Unaweza ongea Kiswahili pia ni sawa, ama Kikuyu, ama Kijaluo, ama Kijerumani. Oh, sawa sawa. One or two witnesses. Okay. Joyce. Jambi. Na wewe? Answan. Uko na witnesses? Na Wilson? And so on. Uko na witnesses?
No.
Asanteni, you may sit. So it seems that at most we will have...
To be safe, my lord, and considering the circumstances,
2
days.
2 days. Okay. Okay. I hope you will really accommodate my diary, Mr. Wandugi. Yes, because
there's some things he's my very good friend. That mixture is very bad. She's my you are